Hey guys, what's up? Just like I promised in the last video, if you've watched it, I'll be making a roam guide. Now, I just want to make it clear from the start, this isn't the kind of tutorial that will instantly give you a 100% win rate. What I'll be sharing here are tips and ideas that you can use to understand how roaming really works. I also want to apologize in advance to the skilled roam players out there. Feel free to correct me if I say something wrong. This video is mainly for beginners who want to learn the basics of roaming, so if you're looking for pro-level tutorials, this might not be the video for you. But if you're here because you want to pick up some useful ideas and improve your gameplay, then make sure to watch carefully because you'll definitely learn something from this. So let's get started. If you noticed, I didn't cut my introduction, and that's for a reason. If you've seen my positioning earlier, I was actually checking if there was a potential invade. I was also watching the Franco, just in case he tried to hook our jungler's red buff. Because your very first job as a roamer is to check the enemy lineup. You need to know if they have heroes that might invade your jungle or zone out your core early on. That's your responsibility right from the start of the match. Not to immediately go and sit beside your marksman doing nothing. You need to be aware of what's happening across the map, especially during those first few seconds. The early game is where smart roamers make the biggest difference. And when it comes to objectives, your main job as a roamer is to stay close to your core. You need to be there to help zone out the enemies. Usually it should be you and your EXP laner controlling the area. But if your EXP laner isn't around, then it's perfectly fine for you to handle it yourself. Now, when zoning, your focus shouldn't be scattered. Don't look at random heroes, your eyes should be locked on the enemy jungler. That's the one you need to keep away from the objective area. Your main goal is to make sure they can't get close enough to contest. But if the enemy jungler is an assassin-type hero like Lancelot, that's where it gets tricky. You need to block or interrupt his skills and even his retribution by any means possible, whether it's using your crowd control, body blocking, or just being a distraction at the right time. Because at the end of the day, your job as a roamer is not just to soak damage, it's to make sure your core can secure the objective safely without interference. And by the way, before anyone says it, no, I don't have a duo or a 5-man team in this game. I'm actually playing solo. The reason I'm doing that is because I want to show you how hard it really is to be a solo roamer. When you play the roam role in solo queue, things get rough. Your teammates don't always follow rotations, communication is limited, and sometimes you'll feel like you're doing everything alone. But that's exactly what makes it challenging and fun at the same time. It's only around 4 minutes, and this is actually the first time I've gone to the gold lane. Franco is also here, but even if he wasn't, you really shouldn't stay in the gold lane too long. A roamer is someone who plays outside the lanes to make sure the map control stays in the team's hands, even at the cost of their presence in one area. Since the turtle had already spawned, I immediately moved toward the objective area. You don't really need to stay in the gold lane for too long, but I stopped by the mid lane for a bit because I tried to help our mid laner who was in danger. And since my jungler also started taking the turtle, I decided to use my ultimate there to help control the enemy jungler's movement and make sure they couldn't contest the objective. Look at what I did here. Even though my HP was already low, I didn't recall right away. Why? Because to let your damage dealers position properly, you need to stay present in the clash. Even if you only get an assist, that's perfectly fine. And even if you die, that's still okay as long as your teammates, especially your damage dealers, get the kills they need. That's the mindset of a true roamer. You don't play for kills, you play to create opportunities for your team. I see a lot of roamers who just run away, completely scared to die. Those are the kind of roamers who don't really understand what the role is all about. Another thing you should keep in mind, you don't have the right to blame your roamer. Whether they're good or not, respect the effort. The roam role is one of the hardest and most selfless roles in the game. The only time you have the right to complain is if your roamer picks something like Layla as a roamer in that case. Good luck. Here, even though my HP was already low, I didn't go back to base because it was objective time. And in moments like that, even if I end up dying, as long as our jungler secures the objective, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. That's the mindset of a true roamer. When you play this role, you're not the killer. Your main purpose is to create space and make things easier for your teammates. So don't fight over kills. Let your teammates have them. As long as you've done your job protecting, zoning, and helping secure objectives, then you've already done exactly what a good roamer should do. Here I tried to delay the enemy Lancelot's blue buff because I knew he really needed it, especially since the Lord was already up. I noticed that he might have already used his retribution, so I ran towards the top lane and hoped that our marksman will see me running. And I was right, our marksman saw me just like I planned. But unfortunately, his ultimate didn't hit in this situation. I also noticed that he was about to get picked off. So what I did was use my ultimate right away just to save him. That's what a roamer should always be ready to do, sacrifice their skills, cooldowns, or even their own life if it means keeping a key teammate alive. Because saving your damage dealer can easily turn a lost fight into a winning one. And now it's Lord fight time, and I'm already here. I actually wanted to save our mage, but then I realized the Lord was already up, and if I went too far, the enemies might take it too early. So instead, I decided to stay in position and just zone out the opponents to protect our jungler's chance to secure it. But no matter how well you play or how much effort you give, you really can't avoid making mistakes. That's just part of the game. Even the best roamers misstep sometimes. What matters most is how you learn from those mistakes and adjust for the next fight. It's actually a good thing for you to realize that no matter how skilled a roamer is, it's still really hard to win, especially when you're playing solo. That's just the truth, and honestly, it's a bit painful to accept, but that's the reality of being a roamer. So if you choose this role, try to apply everything you've learned from this game. Stop relying on those perfect 5-man setups. Focus on what your real job is: controlling the map, protecting your teammates, and creating opportunities. Don't be that roamer who ends the game still stuck in the gold lane, glued to the marksman. That's not how a true roamer plays. Your strength lies in movement, awareness, and sacrifice, not in staying beside one hero all game. Thanks for watching. I hope you learned something from this video. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a like, and also tell me in the comments if there's anything I might have missed. Always remember, the roam role is the hardest role in Mobile Legends. So never blame your roamer, they're doing more than you probably see on screen. Keep that in mind, stay patient, and keep grinding.
Well played. That was amazing! Unstable network.
Attack enemy lord. Attack enemy lord. Attack enemy lord. Defeat.